episode is sponsored by Raise Tech, end-to-end IT solutions for your business growth.
Hello everyone, we're back here on the Agile Couch and Agile Tour Vilnius 2023 having talks, and we have Vidas here with us for yet again for a third time, is it? Great to have you back. Probably everyone knows Vidas. He's a founder and CEO of Teamhood. So we just said, so what we will talk about, I came here for Kanban. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. You came or I came.
Yeah. So
I hope you came as well.
You came here for Kanban. So any findings you had so far that you want to share?
Yeah. So I didn't come for Kanban as such, like a principle to find Kanban here, but I came for the networking.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you sense the same thing. Scrum is the dominant monopoly in Vilnius as a topic, which is maybe fine. There is no problem in it. What I'm searching is people involved in Kanban communities who like, of course, doing things the Kanban way, but also they're open, both like Kanban in Scrum, Kanban and Scrum, or any other related material which they produce. And I'm just gathering knowledge myself because I'm the software maker.
Yeah.
I'm not in the front lines of actual coaching or doing the workshops or spending enough time with people who bring various, organizational challenges, process challenges, etc. I should be doing more of that, no doubt. But that's what I came to find, and so far so good.
All right. So
really happy actually, and surprised.
Okay, but so what was anything in particular that you already sort of gained, learned, discussed with someone that you'd say I previously didn't think about it or whatever?
Yeah, so definitely one really good point is that I didn't come expecting to find, not in numbers, but I already by this ratio, that many people who I could talk from Kanban community, like prokanban.org, the guys from prokanban.org, awesome people. So it's like I didn't even imagine they'd be coming into a conference about Agile in Vilnius. I would say, okay, maybe meet them in this London Agile community or smaller Kanban events across Europe. But now it's a very good opportunity. Apparently, there is a lot of like multinational network arriving in the place, because last year I skipped Agile Tour and unfortunately wasn't able to participate. But this year, I'm surprised positively.
All right.
It's a very good shift. Bringing like international community.
Oh
very
yes, nice. I think this conference is the biggest benefit is the community, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That comes here, and I'm also really glad to see so much of international and high-profile people actually that you can talk to and learn. But talking about Kanban, right? So you're always sort of the Kanban guy to to go to, right, and talk this about. But why is that you love Kanban so much? Why is that a thing for you? Just like a question as simple as that.
I'm not sure if it's the right word, love, but I just find it extremely valuable. Maybe then love comes in as a feeling somewhere. But main reason is it just makes things visual. And if you of course you had probably the same approach yourself, where you need to establish some best practices. You need to unveil processes that have never been documented. You need to make people collaborate more and be proactive in sharing the information. I mean, whatever you do, if you try Kanban, it's so sticky from the very first day, because people somehow dig what is a sticky note, what is a board, what is the status on the board, and this is the inception moment.
Yeah.
It's so easy to make things visual, and then my job becomes very easy because people understand the information. They can get it, actionable right on the board. They can create their own like coloring decorations to communicate further without the text. Because of course we can write everything in a single Excel spreadsheet, not a problem.
Yeah.
But then your cognitive load will be tremendous, because you just need to read everything. That's like really silly, maybe a silly small thing, but that's what Kanban is really great at, like making things visual.
But with the Kanban, you mentioned that it's sort of so easy to start, right? And for a lot of maybe that's the inception moment for a lot of people or users. But at the same time, Kanban is not easy, not that easy, right? When we move forward, when we add elements, when we want to sort of use the most of it, well, it's much more than just visualizations.
Absolutely, and this is probably still why Kanban coaches have a job, because, of course, if you ask anybody from the community, like, how do you know that somebody's doing Kanban? And I also preach myself the same thing. When somebody says we're doing Kanban, first question is asked: is it Kanban board or is it actual Kanban, the full system, right? And there is a difference, and yes, there are follow-on points like how do you control the flow, what do you measure, how do you know if you're improving, how do how do you handle blockers, how do you have classes of service, how do you approach different type of work. Many questions. They're not hard actually. They just require experience to guide people towards their better answers or right answers. I don't know if there are right answers, but better, let's call it better answers. So yeah, it's a process.
Do you feel that Kanban in Lithuania, right, in this community around, is it gaining popularity? Is it more or less stable? Where the usability and usage of Kanban is going, in our local market here?
I would love to answer this question. I would love to have data to answer this question. I can only answer by my company's scope, where we do have a significant user base in Lithuania, but we're still speaking hundreds, close to 1,000 of users of Kanban in one country. Our market is still small in Lithuania, but among those people, of course, we help growing the community because of the solution we provide. Other than that, what I noticed is, of course, maybe we could retrace how many topics were related specifically to Kanban or even lean ideologies in the Agile conferences across Lithuania in past, like, from 3 to 5 years. I would say the topic count is increasing slightly.
I think as well.
And also I see by how many people are arriving from specifically like Kanban community. I haven't been last year, but this year I definitely can say there's more people from Kanban community exactly in this conference. So yeah, that's like, subjective indicators. They're not objective.
But it's your experience and your feelings. So it's we're not digging into data here. But then talking about the maturity of Kanban users, on the same things. Are we just using a board, or are we actually using a system? Where are we with that? Are we improving here?
That's even a tougher question. Because to assess maturity, not even data is required, but also maturity assessment model. As we know, very boring stuff actually. Sorry, but really the boring stuff. But there are various developments of these models, which they exist. We could potentially like go and see, but I don't think that's a yes or no answer. Unfortunately, it's like it depends on who is in the company, and then you can say, oh, more companies are getting forward with like more mature use of Kanban or reaching some certain level of sophistication. But usually it will be still almost similar amount of people or similar people actually just hopping companies and deploying the knowledge and experience. But it means spreading. But again, we need some sort of like objective way to assess that.
Of course.
So it's not an easy one. With Scrum, it's like really popular, right? It's like, I would call it a monopoly in Lithuania. Scrum has a monopoly of frameworks. It's just due to popularity and adaptability, and of course a lot of IT companies and IT standard go-to is Scrum from what we see across the world. Kanban is something smaller, but Kanban has a very good advantage. It's actually especially good not even in IT. The easy part and visual part are the hooks which can get you into any business, because people will just dig it from the very first day.
Absolutely. Actually, talking about the monopoly, I think we're still experiencing a shift, and the shift in trends that I feel is actually not from Scrum to Kanban or XP or whatever.
Yeah, of course.
It's more to actually doing what's right for you, actually staying away from defined frameworks. That's a bit of a trend. Have you experienced that? Maybe with your clients, or they're tailoring a lot, for what they do, or they're still more or less using the standards, solutions or standard how to say setups of their management, workflow management, or whatever.
I would simply say everything is tailored. It's rarely actually the standard. For at least my personal experience, it's always like tailored to one or the other side. Now that you mentioned it, I also heard today. I spoke with one like practitioner who said we are thinking, and it's like getting popular, like creating frameworks or personalized, customized frameworks where you just handpick stuff from different pieces and you call it, you give it a name yourself. And that's an interesting idea. It reminds me from technological space, like microservices. Instead of deploying full architecture across system, you just take one piece and govern it by specific rule set which is required for that piece. And that's interesting. I just very cautious, like what will be the end result? Will it be better, or it might create even more confusion? What is Scrum? What is framework? Who's right? Who's wrong? All these questions.
Probably time will show, but at least the trend is definitely here, and definitely interesting to see what will be the result actually. Whether that's something that will be more accepted, or actually it will lean us towards more failures as of not understanding what we're picking here.
Just to summarize, the goal is not to pick a framework and live with it. The goal is to get benefits of the framework or the tools inside the framework. So and we had like a talk yesterday with one of the speakers. So if you're doing like support service, you don't work in sprints.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why do you need sprints in there? But you might benefit from stand-ups. You might benefit.
You might benefit from retrospectives.
Exactly. Absolutely. Retrospective is the core. It's the everything. It's the engine of improvement. But yeah, you can handpick. Because if you just deploy Scrum on support team, what the hell? Why sprints?
All right. We shifted here from Kanban to sort of own frameworks. But to sort of summarize and maybe just end up our talk here, you are still one of the sort of most mature practitioners of Kanban, I think, in local market here in Lithuania, at least from what I know. But where do you get your inspiration from? Do you follow someone or read something, or whatever? What is that you're always?
I would like to be among the mature. I don't think we are that mature. We know how to build products, and we know what makes our time to market short. This is our competitive advantage. But Kanban and tooling in Kanban, we tailor for ourselves what works and what not. And we've been in Scrum, and then we've been in Kanban, and then we've been in Scrum and Kanban again. There is no borderlines already in our case. But to get inspiration, very important. I would recommend checking prokanban.org community, not all the material which you will Google, but just community, because for me personally, great answers, very helpful people. I think some of the talks that were today, and there will be, would be a nice source to just check it out. What has been hot on this topic from Agile Tour Vilnius conference 2023. But I don't know what's going to be in the future. So let's see those talks and get the idea. And I myself, I'm just discovering what else around the Europe is related closer to Kanban. So there are many options, but I haven't been there. I wouldn't recommend.
Okay.
And all the root inspiration, of course, is making work visual. It's the famous book, right?
Yeah.
So doing that, read Dan Vacanti's work, who is also behind Pro Kanban about actionable agile metrics, very good insights of measuring the flow. There are plenty actually, but fundamentally this, go to the community, it will be all right.
All about a community. That's what I think what we're experiencing here. It's the community. right?
Exactly.
Yes. Thank you very much for joining once again and
Pleasure.
having a talk here. And yeah, have a nice community event.
All right, we'll do
See
that.
you.
Thank you,
Bye.
Vidas.